Hey guys, so I am super excited to officially start my Bible reading. I think I'm going to call this content bite-sized Bible studies. Um, the whole goal of this platform, if you didn't listen to the intro, well, before I get started, my name is Jocelyn and I'm here for all things Bible. My goal is to read to you the entire Bible. The resources that I use, what I mainly read from, obviously, is the Bible. This is the New Living Translation Bible that I kind of just read smoothly. And when I just have questions or I want to know historical facts, dates, who was the author, any preface information, I go to the Life Application Study Bible. This is my go-to. So these are the two resources that you'll see me go to this entire time. But the goal is to read through the Bible. I believe that majority of us is lacking an understanding of the word. We hear pastors and we hear people pulling certain scriptures and using it to justify something that they're saying. And sometimes we don't really know what the entire context was. And I'm the type of girly that I don't just listen to what scripture you just thrown in there. No, I need to read the whole thing. I need to know who was being talked to during that time. I need to know why was that said, who said it. Because I like to have very much understanding on what I'm being taught. So I'm simply here to I'm walking in obedience and I'm here to just read the word to you. And I'm so excited to start from the very beginning. We are starting in Genesis. And obviously we know that it starts off with the creation, which I'm excited for. So what I'm going to try and do before I start any book of the Bible, I want to kind of give you a little bit of facts. I told you I go to the Life Application Study Bible to get most of my facts. And Genesis, so let's start off with who was the author? The author was Moses. Moses wrote Genesis. Who was the audience? The audience was the people of Israel. The date it was written, 1450, between 1450 and 1410 BC. And where was it written? It was written in the wilderness during Israel's wanderings, somewhere in the Sinai Peninsula. And anything else I want to state before we get started? No, I think those are important things. If you hear background noise, I sincerely apologize. I am a mother of two. It is Saturday morning and they're playing with their toys in the loft. So I'm currently in my bedroom. So if you hear a door open, you hear mommy being called, just bear with me. Like, this is not a recording studio. This is just my home. This is actually where I read my Bible here at my desk. So I'm giving you the same thing. So let's start with Genesis chapter 1. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. The earth was formless and empty, and darkness covered the deep waters. And the Spirit of God was hovering over the surface of the waters. Then God said, "Let there be light." And there was light. And God saw that the light was good. Then he separated the light from the darkness. God called the light day, and the darkness night. And evening passed, and morning came, marking the first day. Then God said, "Let there be a space between the waters, to separate the waters of the heaven from the waters of the earth." And that is what happened. God made this space to separate the waters of the earth from the waters of the heavens. God called the space sky. And evening passed, and morning came, marking the second day. Then God said, "Let the waters beneath the sky flow together into one place so dry ground may appear." And that is what happened. God called the dry ground land, and the waters seas. And God saw that it was good. Then God said, "Let the land sprout with vegetation, every sort of seed-bearing plant and trees and grow and trees that grow seed-bearing fruit. These seeds will then produce the kinds of plants and trees from which they came." And that is what happened. The land produced vegetation, all sorts of seed-bearing plants and trees with seed-bearing fruit. Their seeds produced plants and trees and of the same kind, and God saw that it was good. An evening passed and morning came, marking the third day. Then God said, "Let lights appear in the sky to separate the day from night. Let them be signs to mark the seasons, days, and years. Let these lights in the sky shine down on earth." And that is what happened. God made two great lights, the larger one to govern the day, and the smaller one to govern the night. He also made the stars. God set these lights in the sky to light the earth, to govern the day and night, and to separate the light from the darkness. And God saw that it was good. An evening passed and morning came, marking the fourth day. Then God said, "Let the waters swarm with fish and other life. Let the skies be filled with birds of every kind." So God created great sea creatures and every living thing that scurries and swarms in the water, and every sort of bird, each producing offspring of the same kind. And God saw that it was good. Then God blessed them, saying, "Be fruitful and multiply. Let the fish fill the seas, and let the birds multiply on the earth." An evening passed, and morning came, marking the fifth day. Then God said, "Let the earth produce every sort of animal, each producing offspring of the same kind, livestock, small animals that scurry along the ground, and wild animals." And that is what happened. God made all sorts of wild animals, livestock, and small animals, each able to produce offspring of the same kind. And God saw that it was good. Then God said, "Let us make human beings." I want to pause right there. Notice that everything that God created, it just said, God said, God said, God said. Let the earth produce every sort of animal. God just said it. But when we get to verse 26, it says, "Then God said, let us make human beings in our image, to be like us. They will reign over the fish in the sea, the birds in the sky, the livestock, all the wild animals on the earth, and the small animals that scurry along the ground." So God created human beings in his own image. In the image of God, he created them. Male and female, he created them. Then God blessed them and said, "Be fruitful and multiply. Fill the earth and govern it. Reign over the fish in the sea, the birds in the sky, and all the animals that scurry along the ground." Then God said, "Look, I have given you every seed-bearing plant throughout the earth and all the fruit trees for your food. And I have given every green plant as food for all the wild animals, the birds in the sky, and the small animals that scurry along the ground, everything that has life." And that is what happened. Then God looked over all he made and saw that it was very good. And evening passed and morning came, marking the sixth day. Now we're going into chapter 2. So the creation of the heavens and the earth and everything in them, was completed. On the seventh day, God had finished his work of creation. So he rested from all his work. And God blessed the seventh day and declared it holy, because it was the day when he rested from all the work of his creation. This is the account of the creation of heavens and the earth. So I just want to kind of go through a rundown of what was created on each day. All right. So again, I'm using the Life Application Study Bible. This is NIV. So the first day, guys, he created light. So there was light and darkness. The second day, he created sky and water, and waters were separated. The third day, he created land and seas. Waters gathered, and then he also created vegetation. The fourth day, he created sun, moon, and stars to govern the day and the night and to mark seasons, days, and years. The fifth day, he created fish and birds to fill the waters and the sky. The sixth day, he created animals to fill the earth. And then he created man and woman to care for the earth and to commune with God. And on the seventh day, God rested and declared all he had made to be very good. I just want to put a pause right here before we move on into Adam and Eve's story. Let's just think about how creative God is. We don't know, obviously, a day might have been a billion years. A day could have been a billion years. There wasn't time. There wasn't any time. So we don't know necessarily how long a day was. A day could have been a million years, and then it took the next day for him to create something else. We don't know. But all I want to say is that he's so intentional. If we just think about all of the creation from the first day to the sixth day, and how we were created last. We were put on this earth last, but once we were formed, we had everything we needed. We had vegetation, we had animals, we had sunlight, we had water, we had the sky, we had seasons. Like, he was so thoughtful to say, I'm not going to create the humans first with nothing around here. Like, he created us first.